Hello, this is Christina from Chrislana Crafts on YouTube and Instagram. I'm here today to share with you this journal that I created and used for a few challenges back in 2021. I never filmed a flip through then, so I am doing it now because I think it is a pretty journal, and it's good to know a little bit more about the prompts and how I tackle them. So there we go. I hope you enjoy. So there is a presentation page, a laminated one, decorated, embellished for the whole journal, Junk Journal Challenges 2021. Then the next page is a specific one for Junk Journal September or Junk Journal Sept, hosted by Dust to Roses, Cassie. I kept the prompts, the prompt list in this doily pocket. The doily is from Johanna Cloth Shop. And there is this pretty image there of the girl from Ruby and Pearl XO. So the first prompt was beginnings, and for that I used a freebie I had created as my main focal point. And the idea was to celebrate the first anniversary of my sewing machine. So I created this card that I'm tucking into the pocket there with lots of fluff from silk ribbon. There is another pocket there from where I'm pulling this tag, and it's got a Brazilian stamp with a seamstress. Then the charm, you can see is a pair of scissors, so all in line with the theme of sewing machine and all. This is, I believe, one of my eco dye digitals that I embossed to create that page. Now the second prompt is influences, and I dedicated this spread to Ruby and Pearl XO because she was, I believe, a huge influence in my journaling style. So you can see from I actually use one of her digitals that I like the most, and I use the polka dots that she loves. First I embossed them on vellum at the top of the page, and I also used a washi that has polka dots. I also used this gorgeous image and a wax seal. On this page, I just created a collage recently, not to leave any blank pages in the book. So this is from my bouquet kits, and I also used an image from Sample Designs. So this prompt is passed, and I dedicated it to my late mother. Then she turned into a memory, and we never had to part again. I used a number of different elements there, like embossed fabric, stickers, wax seal, dried flower, and this pretty image of the mother and daughter is actually from a brochure for shoes. Now, this one is invitation, and I actually created 2 spreads around the theme. On this first one, there is this couple on the left hand side with some embossed vellum, and I think it's a pretty page. And this one that you can see now is my wedding invitation. I did a collage there and used vellum on top. There is the charm from Tim Holtz, love, and a little key, which is very, I think, symbolic, yeah, of the key to a new life, etc. And I folded over the wedding invitation and created a pocket for our a couple of wedding memories: the church where I got married, and me and my husband on our wedding day. On the right, you can see this bride. I used photo corners to keep her there, decorated a little bit the picture, and did some stenciling at the back. The next prompt was your last outing, and my last outing at the time had been the Botanical Gardens in Rio de Janeiro, and I used a flyer they handed out there, vintage tickets, washi tape, photos, stickers. I used a number of things to create this page with our actual pictures. There is my journal from 2021 and a more close-up picture of me and my husband. On the other page, still about this visit, I have a picture of some Vitória Regia and in a little collage. This is also a page that I filled with my bouquet digital kit because I didn't want the book to have blank pages. And on the page on the right, I just stuck in a Portuguese-French dictionary page, which I coffee dyed, and this gorgeous image of Lily Elsie, which I purchased from Ruby and Pearl XO. Now the next one is child, and I created a very happy page, I think. Lots of colors, and there you see, ta-da, my kids when they were little. Of course, I would have to include them. So there, not to leave the page blank, I used a digital from Ruby and Pearl on one side and stamped on the other. And this next spread is surprises, and I talk about how nature surprises us. The picture, the photograph on the right hand side is a picture of mine, which I'll be including in a digital soon. This card I created by stenciling, sewing, layering, and writing on top with a golden pen. Of course, if you'd like to see details of these pages, you could go to my Instagram page. All these prompts are there with the description and all the details. The next one there is sadness, and this is another digital of mine that I am still to include in a kit. I haven't released it yet, and I think it's so beautiful. And I printed it on vellum to create a pocket and kept this card inside. There I used some very fibrous handmade paper that my sister gifted me, the red one, which I love so much. The next one is Believe, and I used the fairy theme for that. I tried to make it whimsical with lots of sequins. On the right hand side, they are actually sewn sequins and beads. The spread is decorated with some sari trim as well from Shikra at Boho Tree. Number 10, which is this one, is Nostalgia. It's funny that I didn't write anything there. I noticed later. I noticed now actually. And that's my daughter. She was aged 4 there. And inside she was probably around 15, I should imagine. So it was the nostalgia of your kids growing up, yeah. As I said before, some pages in the book I didn't use. Now, this one is neutral. And I created this collage with the bird, the girls, and this beautiful piece of sari trim from Boho Tree. And the last prompt that I tackled was bright. And so I dared to use colors, very bright colors, that I would normally not do. And the result, the result is different but pretty, in my opinion. Now we move on to another challenge, Junk Journal BR set, which was hosted by a Brazilian artist, Taty com Arte. That picture on the right is again another picture of mine that I intend to add to a kit. And this is probably one of my favorite spreads in this challenge. I created with Sanpul's digitals and a drawing of mine, a sketch of a bride. I created this bridal theme. Actually, it was just this page. It's not a spread. It's this page. And this picture was a picture that I took myself in Naples, Italy, many years ago. It was a lucky day that I saw 3 brides in the street. And, I thought she was perfect there. On the right is this elegant, beautiful lady. I used the same Sanpul's, how shall I say? Sampler digital. This one, I believe I had to use stamps and perhaps wash. I'm not quite sure. I think I had to use fabric or trim and create this collage, and I actually quite love it. The next one, I use this fairy for a fairy tale thing. This digital from Ruby and Pearl I absolutely love. I added it just to make a transition from one prompt to another. Gratitude. It's a picture of mine as well, a photograph of mine. This is another page that I like very much. I remember this one was about something you love using. And I love everything that I use there. The digital from Ruby and Pearl, embossing, velvet, and the trim from Boho Tree. And the way I tackle this prompt, I loved it. I think it was, different from what I normally do. If I'm not mistaken, I was inspired by Mickey at Nature 18 Journals to create this. I don't even know what to call it. And I used the digital is mine. I offered it as a freebie at the time. I thought it was really neat. Now, the last, how shall I say, challenge was the 5 items challenge. And I was invited at the time, 2021, by 2 artists to participate. So the first one I created with items sent to me by Naira at Naira Foganholi. And she sent me a button card, this beautiful trim, the photograph, and the fabric. These were the items which I'm showing. And I created a flip out with it. The background is digital from Sample Designs. And I really loved how it turned out. There's just a collage to fill the page. And this one was one that I created with items sent to me by Taty com Arte, the host of the previous challenge that I talked about. And with the items she sent me, I created this. The envelope is actually mine. I embossed it, but I made the collage with the items she sent me. A few details of the journal that I had created, not for the challenge, but I decided to use it with this purpose. And that's it. I'll make sure to include the information on all the artists that I mentioned in this video. And I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope you have found some inspiration in this video. And if you did, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.